What's going on, guys, and welcome to Formula 7 Racing. We are live here for the Spanish Grand Prix. Somebody's just said it is a wet race. That is the first wet race, well, full wet race we've had all season. It was bound to come. Unfortunately, it is the Tier 3 guys that will suffer this morning. They've woken up early. Thank you all so much as well. Todger is out on intermediates. Bear with me whilst I jump in the party. Crikey. Just jump in the party, mate. Just jump in the party. So Cinder says it's only weather at the start. I'm going to call you Icy for the sake of making it easy for me when I'm doing comms. Icy, don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. It is absolutely fine. Have a good race. Enjoy yourself. Don't worry about it. What's going on? Cinders, buy me back. How we doing, man? Kev. So, we are on board with the new debutant as Umbra Ghost in the Alpine. So he comes around turn 13, I think it is. 14, sorry, because this track map changed. There used to be a little kink in the road, but it took it out. So, I've not done the driver's debrief as well, which is annoying. So, Umbra Ghost. I'm just going to call him Ghost. Oh, and he snapped it going into turn 1, and his teammate will come behind him, the other Alpine, the championship contender of Edward. So we'll ride on board with Edward. He's out on the hard compound tyres. Malk, I have no idea. So Edward coming around turn 4. It is sometimes really difficult here in Spain to get that traction down early without slipping the back end out. So we'll see what the drivers do to cope with that. So this is the tricky part in towards turn 7 and 8. I'm good, Malk. How are you? So Edward coming around at turn 12. The Alpine driver. I'm just gonna turn the volume up. Yeah. I've been absolutely crazy busy already this morning because I wanted the Discord a bit tidier. So buy me back on the mediums, a 114.3. So he's gone purple all sectors. The Alpine of Edward, a 115.0 on them hard compound tyres. You've got Kevin Gamer as well, but we do have another Ferrari. I think that is Nimblecat on an outlap, and then we've got the two Aston Martins. That is Ifni and Icy. Icy in the other Aston Martin, his debut, the American driver, and it's 3 a.m. for him. Let's see what he can do at this sort of time. Around turn 14, down towards the line we go, and Icy goes up to P3 at 116.2, and then through comes Mad Riot in the Williams, a 114.7 for the Williams driver. Then here comes Vincenzo in the Red Bull, goes up to P4 at 115.0, and then his teammate also comes through. Sorry, that was Kevin Gamer at 115.6. Go on, Kevin Gamer, 115.6. What a lap. Vicious Vicar in the Williams of 115.2, the driver of the day from last week. Ifni is on a lap, so is Nimblecat in the Ferrari, so we'll ride on board with the OG. And it's out of turn 5, down towards turn 6. And then this is the tricky part for the Scuderia, in towards turn 7 and 8. Just ride in the left, ride in the right, around the curves we go. And in towards turn 9, this is where the DRS will kick in and the Ferrari chucks it out. Just need to invite Zanedi. So back on board with the Ferrari driver around turn 12 here in sector 3. In towards turn 13. If you can go flat out here, you are on for a good lap. And he is flat out through there for Nimblecat. And it is P3, a 114.7 for the Scuderia. What about Ifni in the Aston Martin? He will be next to the line here in Spain, and it is P5 a 114.7. That is 3 drivers very close together, and Vincenzo in the Red Bull on the softs, a 114.0 for the British driver. Gravy Brain coming to the line, and then SRL Matt in the Haas around turn 14. Oh, a little short on the exit. And in his P12, 116.5 for him. We do have Todjo and Podjo coming out on track or go on board with one of the two Swedishmans. I know, Ben, I know. On comms because I got a race ban. Can you imagine that in the own bloody league? Oh, God. Hey. I deserved it. I deserved it. So, one of the two Swedishmen is Podge and then Todge. And Podge in towards turn 5. Through in towards turn 7 and 8. So this is where the DRS will kick in. We'll see a lot of overtakes here this morning. What's going on, VRB? In towards turn 10, that Haas driver just moving out the way. Well done. And Podge, maybe a little bit of that dirty air, just picking up underneath that McLaren. And then in towards turn 14 we go. The Papaya down towards the line here in Q1, and it is P3 for the championship leader. SRL Matt retires, so he is out in Q1. Oh, he's crashed it. He's crashed it coming around turn 14. Wow. Nimblecat is out. Oh, Nimblecat's crashed it in towards turn 5. Wow, what is going on? Spain is taking no prisoners here. Jack Carter in the Mercedes will be next. He is on an outlap. So, Nimblecat has crashed it at turn 4. SRL Matt has crashed it at turn 14. Oh, Matt crashed into the pit wall. So, one more driver out, and that is it. Everyone is through. So, Jack Carter, around turn 3 we go in that Mercedes. Your teammate, I see, I know. No, your teammate's still alright. He's still alright. He's just retired because he'll get through. So, in towards turn 5. So, this is where we'll go slightly uphill. Jack Carter, this might be the first and only opportunity he's had today to get some little bit of practice in, so we'll see what he can do. Nimble drops it into the wall. Oh, got a feel for Nimble there, especially after somebody caused him to ruin his race in Belgium as well. I wonder who that was. Buy me back a 1:13.9 on the mediums is going even quicker in that Ferrari. I'm absolutely praying and hoping that Nimble and Mad-G get a good race result today. But down into the line, P4 for Jack Carter, 1:14.3. So very neat inside it. So Umbra Ghost in the Williams. See what he can do around turn 4. An amazing circuit here in Catalonia. We know there's been many of Grand Prix here, and they took away that was it the right and left hander. Well, it was like right, left, right, and then down in towards turn 15. Just to try and get more overtaking. I had a job in a club last night, didn't get home till half 4, didn't sleep till half 5. So yeah, Vinny, that is well done, man. Really nice. What's going on, Nick? How we doing? DJ HD. Oh, he's just hit the bollard there. Umbra Ghost went up to P3. Zanedit in the Racing Bull. Yeah, I know, Nick. I know. DJ, yeah, I got a race ban, didn't I? First incident in 2 years. And, yeah, it was bad. Obviously, the incident with Lanzi and everything, I wish we could have worked it out and ironed some things out. To be honest, frustrations get the better of us and tempers flare, especially after incidents and after races. So I always give drivers the benefit of the doubt. But there's certain things you don't cross, there's certain lines you don't cross. And I probably still would have had a chat with him and let him come back, but he never approached me. Anyway, forget that. It was what happened afterwards, and me being dead annoyed. I started going left and right on the controller, like, oh, you've annoyed me, like. And as I did that, I didn't realise Maggi and Nimble were coming up a rouge, and I absolutely ruined the races, so I completely deserve a race ban. So, Catalonia, here we go. It is 2.894 miles in circuit length. And Ferrari have the most wins around here. They have 12, and looking at By the Back's pace, he could make that 13 today. Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher both joined with 6 race victories around this iconic circuit. Oscar Piastri this year set a 1:11.5 in qualifying. So, Ifni is through at the moment. Zanetti up to P12. Nimble at the moment is into Q2, but we've got Todjo coming round. Down in towards turn 10 we go. And this is going to be the interesting bit, because when Todjo goes through, Nimble, even though he's already crashed out, will be officially out in Q1. So around turn 13 and 14. And Todjo, a 1:13.5 in the Kick Sauber, has gone fastest. So Todjo. So Kevin Gamer and Zanetti at the moment are both going in to Q2, which would be absolutely incredible. So Icy, oh, and he's got a driver behind him. That might be a driver on it. No, it's not a driver on an outlap, so that's fine. Yeah, the engineers might fix Nimble's car in time. So Ifni is down to P13 now. This is getting really close. I tell you what, the lap times are so competitive. It's great. Barring Todjo in a minute. So here comes Icy in the Aston Martin, and the American driver down towards the line. Oh, and he's still on the racing line. Just be careful. There is a Williams there. I think that is Mad Riot. I think he was trying to get a slipstream. He is into P6. It looks like he probably will comfortably get into Q2. Icy might have to go again with 3.5 minutes to go. Gravy Brain in the Kick Sauber. Potentially can get through. Kevin Gamer at the moment is into Q2, which is brilliant to see. So Kevin Gamer just getting out of the way. Don't get disqualified because you will lose that position in Q2, so be careful. Oh, buy me back in that Ferrari, a 1:13.2. He's come out on the softs and he is absolutely flying here in Q1. Zanetti is up to P5. Mad Riot in the Williams, coming around turn 13 and into the pit lane. He will be comfortably through, probably hindered on his opening lap. Umbra Ghost in the Alpine on his debut. He is the new teammate of Edward. They are battling for the Constructors title. I really wish that was still Ramsey, but hey. Umbra Ghost around in towards turn 13 and 14, rides the curb into the final chicane. Oh, and he's run it wide and invalidated it. Look at my first lap. What do you mean? How do I do that? Cinders in the McLaren is up to P11 at the moment. He is through to Q2. There is a driver that's joined the grid. There's 18 now. Who is that? Oh, did we already have 18? Oh, Mad Riot has crossed into the pit lane. Apparently. So we have a few drivers. Edward is on a lap. Deadly, I have a race ban, man. Kevin Gamer in the Racing Bull. Is he on a lap? He has that kick Sauber behind him of Gravy Brain. Both of these two trying to get in to Q2. So we'll stay on board with the kick Sauber and the Racing Bull. Kevin Gamer and Gravy Brain trying to get into Q2. Can Kevin Gamer do it? He's into the pit lane. At the moment, he is through. Gravy Brain's into the pit lane. Icy is on an outlap, so it all remains on Icy. If Icy can improve by just over 1/10, he will knock Kevin Gamer out and he will go into Q2. So he does all on the Aston Martin driver. Edward is improving. He's going down towards turn 10, slams in to the end of that DRS straight, closes that rear wing, and the Alpine driver coming around turn 11 and 12. We are now heating things up. We are now kicking in to the competitiveness of this qualifying session around turn 13 and 14. The Alpine driver of Edward down towards the line we go. The Constructors' Championship is heating up and he's into P1 with a 1:13.1. The Aston Martin of Icy, all the other drivers in the pit lane. So it is going to be a one-lap shootout for Icy. And I won't say what I was about to say because that will make him nervous. So, Icy in the Aston Martin down towards turn 1. In towards the S's. And the checkered flag has waved. So, every driver is sat there watching Icy with a one-lap shootout to see if he can get into Q2. Oh, he makes a slight mistake. I hope he can recover from that and get his foot down early. He's only got to find some improvement, has Icy. That's a really nice exit from the Aston Martin driver in towards 7 and 8. This is the tricky part. And he does get his foot down. It's not bad at all. Into the DRS straight, rides a little bit of the curb, rear wing wide open, burning that battery, down towards turn 10 we go. And the American still up, 4 a.m. where he is racing in this Aston Martin, 10 a.m. UK time. He might be tired, but he is putting it all on the line, head down. Eyes in the visor, on the prize, around turn 14, down towards the line. Can Icy do it? And he does! Into Q2 goes the Aston Martin. That is such a shame. Kevin Gamer is out in Q1. That is so unfortunate for both drivers. So, Buy Me Back is the fastest driver on track in Q1. Todd Joe in P2 and Bulldog in P3. Let me just put these names down. So, the Mercedes, that is Bulldog. Sorry, I just want to get so we can get all the information. Vincenzo, Zanetti, Maggi, Umbra Ghost, Pod, Jakarta, Vicious Vic, Ifni. Who's the Aston Martin? That is Ifni and Icy. And then Edward, Nimblecat, Kevin Gamer, Gravy Brain, SRL Matt. Yeah, brilliant. Okay. Yeah, I feel awful on super skills. Only 13 because 2 of the drivers crashed out as well. They got through, but they crashed out, one being Nimble, unfortunately. I feel absolutely awful on super skills. That's why I don't like changing the time. But that's why I started at 7:53, so we could give sort of 7 minutes into qualifying, so we can get that little bit of a head start, so we can do full commentary. And then we had 11 minutes after 10 o'clock for anybody joining at the normal time to get in as well. Just then we can get tier 2 started earlier and we can do full qualifying. Super skills to start from the back. Yeah, if he wants to come and join, he can still obviously race. His Williams car's still open. Sorry, not his Williams, his Red Bull. But yeah, God, I always feel awful when people, especially when they turn up on time and go, oh, what's happened? That's why I wanted to start and just give that little bit of leeway. So there was still 11 minutes after 10 o'clock for people to join. What's going on, Jan? Thank you, Icy. Appreciate it, man. DJ, I will have a look. Ryan for pole today, says Nimble. So we have a couple of drivers out on track already. We have the Ferrari of Todd Joe and Buy Me back in the Ferrari. So Ben, tier 2's at 12, but I'm hoping that we can start it at 11:45 for all the tier 2 guys, so that we can do full qualifying before the F1 race. We could probably fit full qualifying in at 12 o'clock if it started on time and we didn't have 5 safety cars. The race, even with 2 safety cars, the race is usually around 49 minutes long with 2 safety cars and around 45 minutes long with no safety cars. So, and then obviously qualifying is around 53 with the brakes. So we would fit it in before the race at 12 o'clock, but obviously to be on the safe side, if we could maybe start it at like 11:53, so it gives like what we did in tier 1, 7 minutes earlier, but it gives 11 minutes over for anybody coming in at normal time. So, Buy Me back a 1:13.6 in the Ferrari. Tojo a 1:13.6 in the Sauber. This is going to be heating up very quickly. Here comes Bulldog in the Mercedes. And it is fastest for SRL Bulldog with a 1:13.5. Zanetti in the Racing Bull, a 1:13.9. And the McLaren of Podge. From one Swedishman to the other. Podge goes pole. Well, fastest. It's Q2 in the McLaren. The Aston Martins are coming to the line. That is Ifni, a 1:14.1. And the other Mercedes of Jack Carter, a 1:13.562. Look how close the 2 Mercedes drivers are matched on track. Umbra Ghost in the Alpine, a 1:14.3. And that is Mad Riot in the Williams into P9 with a 1:15.1. And then we do have Vicious Vicar. So from son to father, down in towards turn 14. Towards the line we go, and it is a 1:14.0 for Vicious Vicar. Goes in front, leading by example, the man on top. So here comes Icy in the Aston Martin, down towards turn 10. So Kevin Gaynor got knocked out at the very last minute, and there was 2 other drivers that went out, but then there was Nimblecat and somebody else who crashed out in the pit lane. No, Nimble crashed at turn 4, sorry. So Icy on the medians, a 1:14.9. That is faster than Mad Riot, who I'm sure so the Williams driver. It might be worth, Jon, seeing what Ben says about tier 2, but it also means seeing what tier 2 think about it. Because obviously, as a world champion of tier 2, we've never had a world champion, obviously. Oh, well, we have actually. We had Merckx, didn't we? But seeing what your pace is like in tier 2, because your pace does look like it is well inside the sort of mid-tier 2 pace. So Icy and Umbra Ghost. Is Umbra Ghost going again in the Alpine in towards 7 and 8? Oh, and the huge snap of the rears there, and that would have cost him time. So around turn 9, DRS enabled. That rear wing is open. There's 2 spots in tier 2. And Ben there shouting you out, Jorn, if you do want to race. So around turn 12 here in sector 3, and again it looks like Umbra Ghost is really struggling for the traction on the track. Yeah, and into the pit lanes we go. So glad they're getting rid of DRS. Oh, so it's so they're getting rid of DRS. And they're bringing in something else, aren't they, that gives you like a boost or something. Is that what it is? I can't remember. So, Zanetti in the Racing Bull. And he's just behind that Ferrari. So does that do the same thing as DRS then, essentially? Because DRS is great. It means that we can get drivers trying to overtake, no? So, Zanetti into the pit lane. Oh, wow. Oh, so it's the front and rear wings. Oh, so it might give you even more pace, no? Surely, because DRS is just the rear wing opening. But if this active aero means that you can adjust the front and rear wing, surely that would mean it would give you more pace as the driver behind, which would result in more overtaking, no? Oh, it can be used wherever. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, right. So even the driver in front can use it at the same time as well. Oh, that's crazy. DRS means that as the car in front and as the car behind comes down any straight, then they're essentially going to go for an overtake because the other car is going to be slower. No matter what car you're in, you're going to be slower for that straight. But if you're just going to give everybody active aero, it just means that everybody drivers back on the same boat with no DRS. Unless there's only so much that you can use and it's you've got to time it right and stuff, maybe. Getting rid of DRS is crazy, though. So, by me back in the Ferrari, went fastest in Q2 with 1:13.2. What about Toggio? Vincenzo is also on a lap. He's already done one lap. I think he's on an in lap. So we'll see. Oh, and he slipped the back end. Wow. Drifting through there. Just let me know if the audio's okay, everybody, because obviously I can't listen to myself. So if the audio's a bit too loud or anything, just let us know. Or if I'm a bit too loud, you know. So Cinders in the McLaren into the pit lane. Toggio has gone purple, sector 2. What about Vincenzo in the Red Bull? Oh, wow! Vincenzo, you lucky boy. That was nearly over in Q2. Toggio has gone fastest. Right, let me... If the cars are just slightly too loud when on board, that was what I was worried about, Jorn. So, yeah, I'll just turn it down 1. So, Toggio, 1:12.9. Once again, he's 3/10 in front of everybody else. So, Umbra Ghost around turn 14. He keeps it valid. Here he comes. Down to the line goes P8. And at the moment, he is into Q3 on his debut. Vincenzo has invalidated it. He will have to go round again to get into the pit lane. So, all the drivers, here we go. We will ride on board with Maggi. He is a Tier 3 World Champion as well. So, in towards turn 1 we go with Maggi, a fan favourite, in towards turn 2, and then he'll just slightly ride the curb around the long right-hander at turn 3, and just keeping that pace. The Williams driver around the long... It's still classed as turn 3 this, but then it goes in towards turn 4 and then down in towards the hairpin at turn 5. And then back onto the throttle we go. Gets his foot down, and then this is where he'll just drop down in towards sort of third or fourth, depending on how your driving style is, up the hill at turn 8, and then around towards turn 9, where the DRS will soon kick in. He'll feather that battery just to get back up to pace as quick as possible. Onto the brake pedal in towards turn 10, nice and tight, hugging the apex to the left-hand side. As soon as he feels that traction, foot down once again in towards turn 12. Don't want to touch the curb there, does not want to slip out, back onto the throttle, and this is where he just wants to go pedal to the metal, does not want to lift off that accelerator at all. Battery all the way down towards the line, just empty the tank now, DRS enabled, and up to P8 and in front of Umbra Ghost. So Podge has retired. He says that's enough till Q3. So Icy in the Aston Martin is also on a lap. I do not know who's going to go through here. You look at from Cinders in P6 all the way down to Ifney in P11 is 3 tenths of a second, less than 3 tenths of a second, more like 2.3 tenths. So it's anybody can get through here with just a little bit of improvement. Sorry guys, 1 second. So, Icy stays P13. Remember, only 3 drivers will be eliminated here in Q2. Oh, Mad G, he calls it a day. So that is as much as he's got in the tank, and I don't think he would want to waste any more tyres than he has to at this point in the Grand Prix. Cinders is risking it and going out again. Wow. I mean, it is close. So, Vincenzo in the Red Bull. Then we have the Kick Sauber. Yeah, I know what you mean, Super Skills. Don't worry. If you do want to race, just let me know and I'll chuck you an invite. If not, don't even stress, man. I know that people are really busy with other things. so you are in. Oh, right, Sam. No problem, mate. You should be able to put a lobby on before the race starts, and there is a formation lap. I'll try and see if the drivers will just hold off for like 30 seconds so you can get one on. What's going on? Doug, man, how are you? Yes, Doug. So, Tojo is fastest in Q2. The checkered flag has waved here in Catalonia. Buymeback is on another lap. What about the other drivers? That is Vincenzo in the Red Bull. Around turn 14, nice and tight to the curb. And then foot down to the line. And Vincenzo is P10. So at the moment he is into Q3. Umbra Ghost and Vicious Vicar cannot improve. Here comes Icy. He is the man. And it is. Vincenzo is through. So every other driver is now through as well, as there can be no improvements from the drivers behind. You see Ifney pulling to the side. You see Bulldog still going to the line, wants to see what he's got. out of turn 14, down towards the start-finish line, and P5, he stays in his own. Buy Me Back in the Ferrari, who might even pull out as well. Yeah, he has. So, brilliant stuff. Into the pit lane for Buy Me Back. So that is it for Q2. Yeah, no worries. I say is what it is, man. You've still got the race. Oh, Jesus, my screen's just gone all black. Oh, thank God for that. I was going to say, because I'm collecting all the live timings. So there we have it. Todd Joe is the fastest in Q2. I'm just going to put this down quickly. Buy Me Back in P2, Podge in P3, Jack Carter P4, and then the Mercedes or Bulldog in P5. You have Cinders in P6, Ifney in P7, Zanetti in P8, Mad G in P9, and Vincenzo in P10. Ghostslayer in the Alpine in P11, Vicious Vicar in P12, who got your driver of the day last week as well, and then Icy on his debut in P13. We move on to the final qualifying session here in Tier 3 for the Catalonia Grand Prix. So into Q3, all the drivers except for Cinders are out on track. Sorry, 1 second, my laptop's just overheating a bit, so I just need to put the, I've got some fans underneath that sit underneath my PC, well, laptop, gaming laptop, whatever you want to call it. So, we'll ride on board with Bulldog. He will be the first driver to set his lap. So on board we go, down towards turn 1. And then, you know what, you look at Bulldog in the Mercedes, look how much grip he seems to have when he's going through. This might be really strong here from the Mercedes. In towards turn 4 at the start of sector 2, down the hill towards the hairpin at turn 5, just slamming on them brakes and drifting the car around. He's sort of pulling the car around, and then we'll go up the hill at turn 7 and 8, and he got his foot down really quickly on the exit of that chicane in towards the DRS straight at turn 9. And then we head down. Oh, and he's cut right over the curb. Oh, and he's just took it too early. And Bulldog invalidates what looked like a really strong lap. Here comes Buy Me Back now. He'll be the next. The Scuderia trying to pull off a Charles Leclerc. Down towards turn 13 and 14. And then towards the line we go. And it is a 1:13.3. But for how long? Podge comes through a 1:13.2. And then Todge comes through with a 1:12.8. That is absolutely unbelievable from Todge. A 1:12.8 from the Kick Sauber driver. Mad Riot in the Williams into P5. And then yellow flags are waving. We do have Vincenzo to the line. He goes P6 at 1:14.6. And then Jack Carter goes up to P4 at 1:13.6. Really competitive. So Bulldog and Cinders both in the pit lane. Yeah, absolutely, Doug. So that is it. The first runs are over. Just under 8 minutes to go. I think the race is going to be a really strong one here. Todger is very quick, very quick. So into the pit lane go the drivers. I think there is another driver. That is Zanetti. And he's just starting his flying lap, so we'll ride on board. So in towards turn 1. So let's see what the Racing Bull can pull out the bag. He is currently in P5. He is a reserve driver. He raced last week. He did really well. The Xbox driver. And down towards turn 5. And I'm pretty sure he'll be on them fresh softs now. This will be it for him. I'm just having a look actually. I can't see anything. So through turn 7 and 8. A little bit wide on the exit of turn 8. But still really nice speed through there. As we head towards turn 9. And then he'll just hug the left-hand side. He'll use the outside line as we come out of the exit to keep that pace flowing. Around turn 13 we go for the Racing Bull. And then hugs the apex once more at turn 14 down towards the line. And Zanetti with a 1:13.3, and we said it was heating up, and that's exactly what it's doing. So we'll ride on board with Bulldog. So we are into Q3. So 6 minutes remaining here in Q3 for Tier 3. And around turn 3 we go towards turn 4. And we are riding on board with SRL Bulldog as we go slightly downhill towards turn 5. That was nice on the exit as well. Look at the limit that he's on. He's using every single inch of that circuit through turn 7 and 8 up the hill. And you see how many times he can get his foot down early. The grip is brilliant from Bulldog. The DRS will kick in. He'll use that battery towards turn 9. A little bit of traffic in front of him. Hopefully it doesn't hinder him. He will get that dirty air. He keeps it valid again. And he's using literally every centimetre of the exit of each corner. Around turn 13 we go. That Racing Bull just in front of him moves into the pit lane. He might have actually got a bit of slipstream. Around turn 14 down towards the line. Bulldog goes P5 and in front of his teammate. Brilliant stuff. What about Podge, the Swedishman, the man who is leading the Drivers' Championship, as he did here in 2023 when he was pipped by Ginaldi for the championship. Once again, he's returned for 2025 here in season 11. And the McLaren driver is on his way to finally secure that World Drivers' Championship if all goes to plan. He's already a Constructors' World Champion. So, and into the pit lane he goes. He's not comfortable with that one. What about Mad Riot and Vincenzo? Vincenzo is half a tenth up on his lap time. He comes through turn 7 and 8. So, that rear wing wide open on that Red Bull driver. So we have... I'm looking at the grid and we have, I think, one of every car, barring the McLaren and Mercedes. They've both got 2. So down towards the line we go for Vincenzo, and it's P6. He splits the 2 Mercedes. This is what you want to see. You want to see the divisions so closely knit like that, so tightly bunched. So Mad G, here we go, and he goes up to P8 at 1:13.9. But when you come into a race like Spain, it is about consistency. It isn't about reliability. It's about not getting penalised and staying within them track limits. And if they can do that, they're in for a good shout. Remember, points down to P15 here in F7. So all the drivers will be in with a chance. So by me back, just wiggling there. Vincenzo on an in lap. So is Mad Riot, and that is Cinders onto the gravel on his out lap. I don't know if he was trying to get out of the way or he actually lost it. So there is Vincenzo that will go into the pit lane, and by me back will start his flying lap. When we seen him in Realistic on Wednesday, it was Fight Me at the back for by me back. So down towards turn 1, some other drivers coming out of the pit lane. This is an important bit. He wants to get in so early. Like, he wants to slam on that brake pedal, and then he wants to turn into turn 1 early so he can get the adjustment to go around in towards turn 2. He doesn't want to go deep and then deep in towards turn 2, so you have to come short into the opening sector. By me back, purple sector 1. He is improving. This is going to be close to the time for Todjo. Out of turn 5, Mad Riot is retired. He can do no more. In towards turn 7 and 8. Gets his foot down, going up the hill. And it is all about grip. It is all about consistency here now for Buy Me Back. Down towards turn 9 we go. Sorry, towards turn 10. I was thinking then, I'm sure that's not turn 9. Around turn 12. And the Ferrari driver will move over to the outside. So then he can just go full throttle. He's invalidated it. That is it. Buy Me Back will not be starting on pole position. He will be starting at best P4. And Todjo has just started his final run as well. There goes Zanetti to start all the final runs. Bulldog and Jack Carter. Jack Carter goes P2. A 1:13.0 for Jack Carter. The McLaren of Podge starts his penultimate lap. 30 seconds remaining here in Tier 3. Here comes MSC F1 Cinders around turn 14, down towards the line. Ifni has spun it. Cinders is up to P8. Ifni will not be able to improve from this point. So we are back on board. The Ferrari won't be able to improve. And it is Todjo right behind him. And the Swedishman in P1. Can he get any extra pace in that kick Sauber out of turn 9? DRS enabled. He's also picking up a slipstream down towards turn 10. The Ferrari is still in front of him, just giving off that bit of dirty air for the kick Sauber driver who's gone purple sector 2. Around turn 12 and 13 we go with Todjo in the kick Sauber. He is currently on pole. Is he going to find any more improvement? Down towards the line we go. And Todjo, a 1:12.5 is absolutely incredible. Zanetti in the Racing Bull goes up to P4. Bulldog in P3. It is all on the other Swedishman of Podge. The McLaren driver, round turn 14 to the line, and Podge goes P2 on 1:13.0. Wow, Podge takes pole by half a second. Yeah, the pace of Todger is a bit, it's a bit ridiculous actually. Wow. Crazy times. Rick Carter. What's going on now, bro? Yudi Adam. Right, that is it for Q3. So let me get the system up where we can collect all the data. So it is Todjo in P1, Podjo in P2, the Swedishman P1 and P2. It's the Danishman of Jack Carter in P3. And then it comes a Bulldog in the Mercedes in P4. So the two Mercedes line up on the second row of the grid. The Racing Bull of Zanetti in P5. Back in the Ferrari in P6. Vincenzo in the Red Bull in P7. Cinders in the McLaren in P8. On the fifth row of the grid, it's Matt G in the Williams in P9. And Ifney in the Aston Martin alongside him in P10. So just try not to ready up straight away, guys. It is chucking it down. Don't ready up yet, guys, please. There is a driver as well that joined in qualifying. We just want to make sure that he's able to just get a setup on. This will be interesting. If this is a full wet race, it is the first full wet race we've done this season, if it is. Mate, I absolutely love the rain. Love the rain. Because anything can happen. It's all about... I very rarely get track limit warnings in a race because I'd rather sacrifice losing time. And so many people pick up warnings in wets, and I always think it's my opportunity to try and get a win. Yeah, that was I reckon we've... I am going to look at the times. Somebody's read it up. So hopefully somebody had a little bit of time to get everything on. So there is dry right at the end of the race. Wow, so look at that. There is 4 drivers on track that have opted to go to intermediates and everybody else on wets. That is what I love. That is it. When drivers don't know what tyres to choose or people take chances on other tyres, it makes the race so exciting. Don't say that, Don. So, here we go. They're all trying to warm up the tyres. Doug, when is the new season? Oh, mate, the new season is probably December, January. This season ends in the end of November. There's still 11 races left, Doug. Come and join, man. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. Return of the Mac. He's a smooth operator. Smooth operator. Right, here we go. This is it. Tier 3. So you are watching the Spanish Grand Prix. Here we go, here for Formula 7 Racing, powered by Sim Racing Setups. And it is lights out and away we go. They all screw it off the line with the wet weather conditions. Bulldog is through on his teammate Jack Carter, who's on them intermediates. Down towards turn 1 we go. It is going to be carnage in the wet weather. The drivers just don't know when to brake. They're trying to get used to these conditions. They qualified in the dry weather. This is the first opportunity they've had in the rain. And that is Mad G and Edward, I think, that have had a coming together. Vicious Vicar is through in the Williams, who's picking up the pieces. You've got Bulldog that is through on Podge. You've got Gravy Brain at the back who's had an issue. Tojo is still in the lead. Bulldog and Podge go wheel to wheel. It's the Mercedes and the McLaren once again down towards turn 5. They are slipping. They are sliding. Everything is coming together for these drivers. That is the Alpine of Edward nearly off the track. Ifnit, Umbra goes, Vicious Vicar, Mad G. What a great start to Tier 3 this has been. No incidents, clean racing, great stuff for the Tier 3 drivers. Wow, this is fantastic stuff. So it is Tojo that leads by 1.7 to Bulldog, to Podge, to Jack Carter. There goes Jack Carter through on Podge, the Mercedes on the McLaren. In towards turn 12 and back down the inside goes the Papaya driver. And it is getting very tasty, but the two Mercedes are now through on Podge and up to P2 and P3. The intermediate tyres that Jack Carter is on. You got to remember, whoever started on the wets, they need to be a lot quicker than the intermediates, otherwise they'll have to pit again. That is Icy in the Aston Martin that's had an issue. That is SRL Matt that has been overtaken by Nimblecat. The Ferrari driver gets his foot down and he is through. And that is Vincenzo that is through on Podge. Podge is really struggling here in the rain. Zanetti in the Racing Bull. Is he going to try and go up the inside of Podge as well? You've got Cinders. You've got Edward going up the inside of Cinders. So Zanetti is through and up to P5. Podge is now down to P6. That is Nimblecat that is through, and so is Matt on Kevin Gamer, who's off the track. He's had an issue. These are treacherous conditions. Sorry guys, 1 second. So Edward is from Podge. He's now down to P7. I'm not sure what's going on here for Podge, but the championship leader is dropping like a stone in water. His teammate is now behind him. Here comes Umbra Ghost. You can't go wheel to wheel through turn 14, but you can. And Umbra Ghost with a brilliant move. Can he hold him off? Here comes Cinders. Here comes Ifney as well. Surely they're not going to go 3 wide in towards turn 1. The McLaren of Cinders is back through on Umbra Ghost. It is absolute carnage in the rain as Cinders loses it. Ifney goes through. Umbra Ghost is through. And this is battling at its finest. Dancing in the rain. So Vicious Vicar and Mad G, both the Williams in P11 and P12. Oh, the McLaren of Cinders losing it. Super Skills in the Red Bull. Nimblecat throwing his teammate. Buy Me Back is down to P15 from P6. What has happened to Buy Me Back? He started on the intermediates and they are not paying off. What about Super Skills? Oh, Mad Riot. Nimblecat is there as well. This is so close. This race is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. And Nimblecat on the back of Super Skills. What about Umbra Ghost on Podge? He's going to go up the inside of turn 10. Wheel to wheel go the Alpine and the Papaya. Nothing to separate them. It's Podge going to lose another position down to P8. In towards turn 12 we go. The Mercedes, the McLaren and the Alpine. But the Alpine's able to get his foot down earlier. And he is through and back past the McLaren. Jack Carter sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Remember, he is on the intermediate compound tyres. Wow, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant race. Every single driver still in this Grand Prix. Anything can happen, but Tier 3 is setting the benchmark here. There goes Vicious Vicar on Cinders. They both leave each other the room. This is what great racing is all about. Oh, they do touch. And Cinders and Vicious Vicar do have a coming together. Mad Riot is through, and so is Super Skills. What about Nimble Cat? And Cinders is being overtaken by the Ferrari as well, but he's coming back at him. That is Jack Carter through on his teammate. Is that team orders in the Mercedes garage? Tojo, 2.1 clear. So, Mad Riot is through on Super Skills. Nimble Cat just watching all this unfold in front. Kevin Gamer on the back of Icy in the Aston Martin, who goes a little bit wide. Can Kevin Gamer get through? Very impressive driving, very impressive. Edward on the back of Zanetti. Umbra Ghost is there. What about Ifni on the back of Podge? Podge, I have no idea what's happened here to Podge. The rain is still barrowing down, bouncing off the circuit. Jack Carter on them intermediates is absolutely flying now, so maybe the undercut with the intermediates might be a shout here for some of these drivers. Oh, and he tries to pull it to a stop, and that was really well done from Edward. What about Ifni on Podge? Super Skills on Mad Riot. You've got Nimble Cat there as well. So, what about that is Nimble Cat on Super Skills, and the Red Bull and the Ferrari go wheel to wheel. Can Nimble Cat get his foot down? He can, and he is through on the Red Bull driver. An absolutely astonishing overtake from Nimble Cat. He's just able to get his foot down and get that grip into them wet compound tyres and throw on the Red Bull. He's up to P12 here, Nimble. So Zanetti on Vincenzo, the two sister cars, and then you've got the Alpine just behind them. Absolutely, Adam. So the Racing Bull of Zanetti on Edward, Umbra Ghost, Ifni, Podge, but it is Tojo that leads by half a second. Jack Carter is setting fastest lap after fastest lap. Remember, Tojo started on the wets, Jack Carter started on the intermediates, and it is intermediate. Whether you can see the rain has stopped, it is started to lighten, and I think any drivers now that decide to switch to the intermediates, they're going to be a lot quicker at some point in this race. We are already on lap 6 of 33, 27 laps remaining here, and it is Jack Carter on the intermediates that 3 seconds clear of the rest of the track. Icy goes into the pits on them in the Aston Martin, maybe to swap for the intermediates. Jack Carter slipping and sliding, so is Tojo on them wets. I have no idea how this race is going to go, how this race is going to end. It is anybody's guess, but it has been incredible stuff from Tier 3 to show exactly how you go racing in the rain. And what a move that was! Jack Carter is now your race leader on lap 6, out of turn 9, down towards turn 10. And Tojo is into P2. Jack Carter is in the clear. And how much time will the drivers sacrifice to Jack Carter? They could fully well be a pit stop behind Jack Carter when all is said and done here. Let's have a look at the tyres. So, Zanetti as well. Keep your eyes on the Racing Bull. Also, Nimble Cat on the intermediates in the Ferrari. Keep your eyes peeled for him. He has made an amazing decision to start on them intermediates. You'll see a lot of these drivers start to pit very, very shortly. So they are pit. Oh, and that is Mad Riot into the pit wall. The drivers struggling to get the cars stopped, and a lot of the drivers are into the pits for them intermediates. Tojo being one of them. He is now down to P9. Nimble Cat is into P7. He's got Vicious Vicar and Podge in front of him, both on wet compounds. And Jack Carter is 10 seconds clear out in the lead. And Zanetti is through on Edward, who's also on them wet compounds. The drivers are having to pit for intermediates. Wow, Nimble Cat and Vicious Vicar go at it. The Ferrari of Nimble is through and up the inside of the Williams driver. Nimble just showing that you never lose it. Nimble Cat has Podge in front of him now, who is the championship leader. Nimble on them intermediates, Podge on them wets, Vicious Vicar on them wets. But it is all heating up here in Catalonia. So much more grip for the intermediates. Vincenzo is through on Bulldog, the Red Bull driver through on the Mercedes, and the Mercedes of Bulldog has come out on hard compounds. Tojo is through on SRL Matt. What about Nimble? Can he get through on Podge? He goes later on the brakes. So much more grip into them tyres. 10 seconds is the lead. Jack Carter still setting fastest lap after fastest lap. Jack Carter, Edward will go into the pit lane on them wet compounds to pit for the intermediates. Some of the drivers are pit for the dries. Hard compounds is absolutely crazy. Into the pits goes Podge. Nimblecat is about to be in a podium position here in Spain. Podge is into the pits. Nimblecat is up to P3. This could well be the drive of the season. Super Skills up to P5. He is still out on them wet compounds. He's doing all right. He knows that he's looking for the strategy. So Vincenzo is through on Edward, who comes out of the pit lane on them intermediates. Remember, Vincenzo started on the intermediates. Ifney is through on Podge. What about Bulldog? Is he going to make a move? He is. And through on Podge goes the Mercedes on the McLaren. Just comes out in front of him. And Podge, the championship leader, down to P13. Kevin Gamer is into the pit lane, going on to them intermediates. Bulldog is losing positions left, right and centre after coming out on them hards. That is Tojo that is through on Super Skills. So Vicious Vicar still in P4. I tell you what, Vicious Vicar and Nimblecat are the absolute reason you can say categorically that older drivers do not lose it. They are just brilliant. Super Skills also on their wets. Jack Carter still setting the fastest lap after fastest lap. Tojo is on them intermediates, fresher intermediates, and he's only 2.2 behind Nimblecat, so he will be catching up shortly. Nimblecat evolving into Nimble Tiger. I like it. Gravy Brain has made a mistake, and Buy Me Back is all over the back of him. Buy Me Back on his back, through his back, and into P15. Gravy Brain, Mad Riot is also through, and he's on a riot. Oh, and he goes around the outside of the Scuderia driver. And Gravy Brain on them wet compound tyres. And that is Edward that is through on Vincenzo on them fresher intermediates. Mad Riot through on Buy Me Back. Vincenzo in P9. What about Super Skills on the back of Vicious Vicar? The weather is drying up quite a bit now. Definitely not dry compounds. Yeah, Bulldog is back into the pit lane. All 19 drivers are still in this race after 9 laps in torrential rain. This is amazing, absolutely amazing. I need a drink. 15 seconds is the gap from Enzetti to Jack Carter. Could have been like a Diet Coke advert the way I just cracked that can open. So Tojo is near the back of Nimblecat now, Nimble Tiger. And the Sauber, and that is Edward that is through an SRL Matt, and that was really close. Oh, and Edward is struggling. Is he going to go for them intermediates? Tojo setting fastest lap. We are 10 laps into a 33 lap race. This is brilliant. Tojo on the back of Nimble Tiger in towards turn 1 and 2. I'll try not to put him off now, so I won't keep saying that. Kevin Gamer on the back of Icy. Tojo is flying now on them intermediates. So Kevin Gamer on the back of Icy, the Aston Martin and the Racing Bull. These two drivers really competitive, very closely matched in qualifying, so it'll be interesting to see what they can both do with Gravy Brain as well. All three of them really closely matched. Oh, and Kevin Gamer is off the track. Vincenzo is through on SRL Matt, so Vincenzo is up to P8. And that is Edward. in the Alpine that is through on Super Skills. Todjo, can he get through on Nimble Cat? Kevin with car control, absolutely. So here we go, out of turn 9, down towards turn 10. And looking at the weather, I'm just going to have a look on my system and see if it's got any update. So it looked on my system that we've probably got, I would say, around 10 more laps of light rain. With 60% of rain at the moment, and it usually dries up around 30-40. So I would say probably maybe by lap 20 it might dry up, but don't quote me on that. Don't take me as your engineer, you know what I mean? Like, so we are going to see some big laps of dry weather as well. Nimblecat doing really well to fend off Todjo behind. Vincenzo is throwing his teammate. The two Red Bull drivers swap around. I tell you what, quietly working his way here is Nimblecat, who's caught up to Zanetti by 5 seconds. He was 9 seconds behind Zanetti. He's now only 4.3. He's absolutely flying, Nimble. Oh, the Racing Bull, the Aston Martin, and Bulldog in the Mercedes. Oh, and the Aston Martin and the Racing Bull get acquainted with each other. It didn't take them long, and Bulldog slips through, picking up the pieces. Here's Bulldog, and the Aston Martin is off the track, and the Mercedes is through. So is the Racing Bull. Icy tries to come back, loses an end plate. And can Icy come back into the slipstream of the Racing Bull? They are going toe-to-toe down towards turn 1. Here in Catalonia, the Aston Martin will try and move to the inside line. Will he go later on the brakes? He does go later on the brakes. The Racing Bull tries to switch it back, but he cannot get through. And Icy has made up a position. So Umbra goes. What about Todjo? Still behind Nimblecat. Brilliant stuff. Edward setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. 3.6 is the gap for Nimblecat to Zanetti now. So, here we go. Overtakes. You know what? Considering it's a rainy race, there has been so many overtakes. Jack Carter is 18 seconds clear of the pack. He could potentially be a pit stop in front soon. He is starting to struggle on them tyres. I will have a look. So, Todjo still 7 tenths. I tell you what, Zanetti, Todjo and Edward have all picked up time penalties. And I tell you who hasn't, Nimblecat. Ifnit is through on SRL Matt in the Aston Martin. SRL Matt, just a little bit of a snap there. That could be a costly penalty for Todjo, absolutely. And that is Gravy Brain, that is Icy into the pit lane. Is he going to go on to another fresh set of tyres? Nimblecat only 2.3 behind Zanetti. Sorry. So, Umbra Ghost on his debut. I think he might have raced last week, actually, under Greek Ghost, but I'll have to make sure. I think because I had him on the system, or I might have already added him midweek. I forget I do that much. So I forget. Sometimes I'll just jump on and add somebody's name into the system for the next race. Right, Podge and MSC F1 Cinders have swapped places. Podge is not a fan of the wet weather conditions at all. That is Umbra Ghost on Vicious Vicar. He's going to go later on the brakes in the Alpine on the Williams. And Vicious Vicar will say, no thank you, I'm waiting, I'm on my own strategy, I'm waiting to pit. That is SRL Matt into the pit lane, onto mediums. SRL Matt is onto the mediums. Nimblecat is within a second of Zanetti. Surely it is not dry compound tyres yet. Oh, you know what? My weather forecast had 60% rain on lap 11. It's now on 39% rain. This is going to be dry very soon. Oh, there's a huge snap from Zanetti. Nimblecat goes up to P2. And Zanetti, that was one of the most costly snaps we've seen this morning. The Ferrari driver is through and up to P2. Get in there, you Scuderia. Todd Joe is also through. The Kick Sauber driver back into the podiums, back where he belongs, and the chase is on. Ifni is through on Vicious Vicar, getting very tasty at the back. And that is an Aston Martin driver of Icy just being lapped there. I don't mean to say that, I shouldn't say that. Mad Riot in the Williams on the back of the Papaya of Podge. Buy Me Back is from Gravy Brain, who goes into the pit lane. But Nimblecat is 1.3 clear of Todd Joe, 20 seconds behind Jack Carter. This is brilliant. Vincenzo is into the pit lane. He's going on to dries. He's going on to mediums. 19 laps on the mediums is a long, long way to go. Surely you go on to the hards now and hope for the best. I would potentially stay out on the intermediates here and then pit maybe a lap or two into the future. Because you want them tyres to get you to the end. So Todd Joe seems really quick in the dry. And here he comes, and this is Todd Joe to take P2 away from Nimblecat. The Kick Sauber is finally back into the top two. Now he has to chase down Jack Carter, but 21 seconds is a big, big gap to try and catch up with 18 laps remaining. Well, you never know. Formula 7 racing does not disappoint, and this race absolutely is not disappointing. This is one of the best wet weather races I've ever commentated on. Thank God for racing bans. Sinetti in P4. Edward in P5 is chasing him down. Buy Me Back. Super Skills in P9 in the Red Bull. Maggi in the Williams on the back of Podge. So when does the rain stop? And let me have a look. Oh, the rain is going to stop any minute. So look how light it is. It's still dark clouds though. Vicious Vicar in the Williams, Super Skills in the Red Bull, and Mad Riot. So they are double stacking. Are they going to get it to perfection? Here come the Williams, double stacking into the pit lane. And one of the Williams is getting a front wing change, but beautifully executed from the mechanics in that Williams garage. Fantastic stuff. So Zanetti was overtaken by Edward. Remember, he started on them intermediates. He's done 15 laps on them now. They will be absolutely screaming. Nimblecat in P3 without a time penalty. 17 laps to go. Jack Carter is still out. Todd Joe is still out. Nimblecat is also still out. Yeah, I wouldn't take any chances of trying to pit onto hards at this point. Unless you're behind and you want to try and do something. Todd Joe sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. DRS enabled. The rain is still falling and DRS has been enabled. Wow. I was just thinking on my system. Usually dry weather is like 30%. It's on 27. It's still raining, but DRS is enabled. I was thinking then, like, wow, medium compounds for Ifni. Podge is into the pit lane. This is where Podge will start to get his foot down. The man is an absolute legend on them hard. He's not just gone onto soft, surely. It looked like it went onto hard. Yeah, hard. He is absolutely rapid in the dry, is Podge. Jack Carter is staying out on the intermediates. He's got that gap though, hasn't he? Hard, surely go to the end, yeah. And I'm just looking, Icy is into the gravel. And Bulldog being overtaken by Mad Riot. There is a yellow flag. I just want to say, if I was Jack Carter, I would do the same. I would stay out on intermediates for as long as possible so that when I do go onto the dry tyres, they are fresh dry tyres. Todd Joy's into the pit lane, so is Nimblecat. And you will not find any of these drivers speeding into the pit lane. Absolutely not at this rate. Oh, Edward. But Edward did catch up to Nimble quite a lot going into that pit lane. Oh, and that is Umbra Ghost. I think he's just missed the pit lane. I think he tried to go into the pits and missed it and went over the track. So Jack Carter is still out on them intermediates. He does not want to throw away a race win here. Surely he has to go into the pit lane. Umbra Ghost is into P2. Todjo is out on them hard compounds. Nimble is also out on them hards. This is brilliant stuff. This is brilliant. The Gravy Brain is through on Buy Me Back, who's coming out of the pit lane. And Ifnit, who pitted a lap earlier, he went for the undercut. He is through on Cinders. Vicious Vicar in the Williams is coming down, but he does have DMB super skills with that rear wing open. Now the DRS is enabled. Here comes the Red Bull driver on Vicious Vicar. The Red Bull through on the Williams and up to P9. Goes super skills with them skills. Jack Carter is into the pit lane. 40 seconds is the gap. Todjo is coming round. Umbra Ghost, Nimblecat chasing down the Alpine driver. He's 2.3 away from Edward. He was 5 seconds before he went into the pit lane. Icy, don't even worry, mate. It's tier 3. It is exactly what you are built for. This is built for exactly what you are as a racing driver. You are trying to get better. You are trying to improve. You will get better and you will improve, exactly like Kevin Gamer has done and Gravy Brain and everybody else. Don't even worry. It's a learning curve, race by race, piece by piece. You will improve. Don't even stress. Umbra Ghost is into the pit lane, so Nimble is back into the podiums, but the gap is only 1.4 to Edward behind. Lewis is prime example. Vincenzo in the Red Bull will have DRS on Zanetti in front, who's on them hards, but their mediums will be a lot quicker. And Umbra Ghost being overtaken. Zanetti is there. Can Vincenzo catch up to him? Umbra Ghost coming out. Super skill sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. 15 laps remaining. So yellow flags. Mad Riot in that Williams. Podge in the McLaren. Vincenzo in P6. So Edward is on the back of Nimblecat. Now he's got that DRS and he's going to go for it. Lunges up the inside. Makes that late call to go up the inside. Nimblecat will try and switch it back up. They do not want to touch. They're both in podiums. The Ferrari will go the long way round around the outside. He'll try and switch it back up the inside of turn 12. But Edward does get ahead and he is through and into some clean air now. Nimble just needs to stay with him with that DRS for as long as possible. He knows that Edward has got that time penalty. But also Nimblecat is 8.8 seconds clear of Zanetti behind, who's also got a time penalty. Nimblecat's got a 10-second buffer here. Here comes Nimble down the inside, back into the podium places, and they do leave each other the room, and Edward is back through. Wow! Edward and Nimble showing how you go racing here in Catalonia. So Podge on the back of Vicious Vicar, the Williams driver of the Vicar. Todjo's catching Jack. Yeah, 13 seconds now. It is still a lot to ask, but Todjo is half a second quicker than every other driver in qualifying. Well, not even half a second quicker than everybody else. Just half a second quicker than P2. He's like 2-3 seconds in front of other people. Jack Carter setting the fastest lap though. He's giving his own back. Podge and Mad Riot going at it. Zanetti on the back of Vincenzo went for the move. So these are your tyres. Todjo sets the fastest lap now. This is a fantastic Grand Prix. And that is what I'm talking about. You know, when I say, like, rain, anything can happen. Literally, anything can happen in the rain. It's so good. Here comes Zanetti in the Racing Bull. Moves over to the left. And he is through on the Red Bull. And Zanetti living true to that team's name. And he is going racing in that Bull. This is Ifni. Oh, Umbra Ghost goes up the inside. The Aston Martin driver go toe-to-toe with the Alpine. Through turn 3, the Alpine makes a mistake. He goes out wide, and the Aston Martin finds another opening on the median compounds. He's going to be a little bit quicker, but Umbra Ghost is not going to give it up that easily. In towards turn 4, and he is trying the old switcheroo down the hill towards turn 5 now. But Ifnit is up to P7. Great move. What about Podge on Vicious Vicar? Bulldog sets the fastest lap. Todger only 11.3 behind Jack Carter with 12 laps to go. At that rate, he will catch him up. Sorry guys, bear with me. I like to try and clip the races as we go along, so I do apologise. So that is Podge being overtaken by Mad G. The yellow flags are waving. Sorry, I didn't see that. I was looking at my computer. That is Icy. That is out the Grand Prix. Oh, he's lost it at turn 6 and 7. Oh, I hope to God that is not a safety car, but he has crashed it coming up the hill at turn 6 and 7. And luckily, oh no! Buy Me Back is into the wall. It looks like an Aston Martin just on the track. Oh, he's off the track now. Is it retired on the track? Umbra Ghost is through on Ifnit. Oh, and Ifnit. Yeah, Icy, but did you crash out or did you just press start and retire on the track? It wasn't ghosted. You can't. Yeah, but you can't retire on the track. You can't just pull over to the side of the track and retire. Your car will try and drive back to the pit lane. I thought you'd crashed out. Yeah, but you can't. Oh, man. Don't worry, it's fine. It's your first race. But you cannot just pull over to the side of the track and retire. Right. Anyway, don't worry. It's your first race. We'll sort it. Sorry about that, Buy Me Back. Really apologies. I should have cleared stuff up before the race. Don't even worry. It's his first race. We move on. Okay, so Nimblecat in at P4, Vincenzo in P6, Ifnit P7. I sorted it with the stewards after. Umbra Ghost in the Alpine, in P8, Super Skills, Vicious Vicar, Podge, Mad Riot. Buy Me Back into the pit lane to get that front wing change. That might. So Todger only 9 seconds behind Jack Carter now. Umbra Ghost and Ifnit have been going at it for a few laps now. As Nick said. And he's the guy him and Yorn are the guys you need to impress anyway. They're the directors. Umbra Ghost on the back of Ifnit into the slipstream. He is closing the gap, but not enough to make a move. Podge picks up a time penalty. He is in P13. And DMB Super Skills is into the pit lane for a fresh set of mediums. Now, let me know, that might actually not be a bad shout by Super Skills, because I think these tyres are going to fall off relatively quickly. So if you try and go for an undercut here, you're talking the hard tyres are around 27% and the mediums are around 35 to 40 with 10 laps to go. So that's not a bad shout there from Super Skills. Here comes Umbra Ghost and Ifnit for round 3, 4, 5 and 6 all in one. The Alpine driver and the Aston Martin going down in towards turn 7 and 8. The Aston Martin is through. They are chasing down Vincenzo as well. The Alpine slots in behind. Ifnit will get DRS. Yeah, exactly. He hasn't even slept. Oh, and the Alpine goes through. Ifnit went wide. And Umbra Ghost. Is he going to go for the move on the Red Bull? He isn't. He goes later on the brakes. And Ifnit says, thank you very much. I will take that move. And the Alpine and the Aston, still nothing to separate them. Podge on the back of Vicious Vicar. But we go back on board with the Aston Martin of Ifnit, who is up to P7 once again. Umbra Ghost on the back of him. Vincenzo switches off into the pit lane. That will give the Aston Martin DRS to hold off the Alpine behind. And a bit of courtesy from the Red Bull going into the pit lane. Yellow flags are waving. And I think that is SRL Matt in the Haas that is off the track there. Coming around turn 8. And that is Podge through on Vicious Vicar. The McLaren on the Williams. DMB Super Skills through on Cinders, who's in the pit lane. So Buy Me Back setting the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Kevin Gamer does have a little bit of front wing damage as well. Bulldog, sorry, is through. Umbra Ghost still within a second of Ifnit. Todjo is 10 seconds behind Jack Carter. Edward 10 seconds behind Todjo. Nimblecat 10 seconds behind Edward. And Zanetti 5 seconds behind Nimble. 8 laps remaining. Let's have a look at the pens, Nick. So 6 for Zanetti. So technically, Nimblecat's got a driver 10 seconds behind him to take P4 here. And genuinely, I'm not even saying this because it's Nimble Tiger, but this could be driver of the season, him or Jack Carter. Umbra Ghost is into the pit lane, and Super Skills is throwing his teammate, maybe team orders in the Red Bull garage. Remember, Super Skills on them fresh tyres. So Vincenzo saying, yeah, go through. Oh, in fact, Vincenzo's on fresh tyres as well. So Podge now is back up to P7, the championship leader. We have had consistent viewers throughout this race, so thank you all so much for tuning in and watching. It's been an absolutely epic Grand Prix. Here comes Vincenzo on Super Skills, and there's no papaya rules in that garage as Vincenzo goes through. Umbra Ghost comes out of the pit lane. They tried to get the undercut. The Alpine is held on. They've touched. The Red Bull is onto the grass. Super Skills goes through, and that could have ended in disaster on lap 26. We do not want to see a safety car now, but Vinny, oh my God. He went for that lunge up the inside and nearly ended both of the races. Oh, that was close. Vicious Vicar, 1.3 behind Podge. Ifnit is chasing down Zanetti. And Zanetti will get DRS off Kevin Gamer in front. The drivers working together. Thank you very much. Zanetti is through. Ifnit 3.6 now behind the Racing Bull. And what about Super Skills on Umbra Ghost? Oh, when he goes wide, Matt picks up a 3 second. Super Skills went really wide there, and I think he might have lost his chances of an overtake. He did. So Zanetti is not catching up to Nimble here. So Buy Me Back usually would be at the front. He qualified in P6. If Buy Me Back was able to have a good race here, with Nimble being where he is, it would be a really good race. Gravy Brain retires in the pit lane. But yeah, really unfortunate for Buy Me Back. What about Super Skills on Umbra Ghost once again through turns 7 and 8. Considering Super Skills started at the back of this Grand Prix, he's been great. Han Solo, thank you so much, mate, for the subscription. Really appreciate it. Thank you. It goes such a long way to supporting the league and sending trophies and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, thank you. Mad Riot on the back of Bulldog. Not able to get that move done, but Super Skills. Han Solo, man, come and join. Yeah, tier 3 is exactly what it's for. So Super Skills on the back of Umbra Ghost in the Alpine, and the Red Bull driver down towards turn 1, still a little bit far behind to make that move and get up to P9. Remember, Umbra Ghost does have a time penalty, so just bear that in mind. At the end, here comes Mad Riot on Bulldog. Switches right, switches left, and he'll have to go around the outside in towards turn 1, and the Williams is through. Bulldog slots in behind him, the Mercedes driver, and that was very, very close racing between the pair of them. Wow. So, Super Skills, Jack Carter, what a strategy by that man right there. What a race, what a Grand Prix. 5 laps remaining here for the Catalonia Grand Prix. Above average, Tomo. Ah, no problem, man. Yeah, no worries, Han Solo. If you ever want to race, come and race. Tier 3, trust me, it will suit you to a T. Super skills on Umbra Ghost. Nimble Cat still 4.7 ahead of Zanetti. Oh, Bulldog is out in the pit lane. Bulldog is out in the pit lane. Yeah, average Tomo is an absolute goat, man. Bulldog is out in the pit lane. We've had no retirements on track. We've had no big collisions. What about super skills on Umbra Ghost? Still, he chases him down. Remember, if you are looking for the perfect race setup, make sure you go and check out Sim Racing Setups. The link is in the chat down below. Or just put exclamation mark SRS. Super skills, still trying to make his move. Yellow flags are waving. Not sure what that is for. Umbra Ghost picks up another time penalty. Vicious Vicar podges up to P7. It's collateral damage now for the McLaren driver. Ifney in P6. Ifney will take P5 here. 3.9 is the gap. So, and Zanetti, is starting to catch up to Nimble Cat. I tell you what, if there was a late safety car here, Nimble Cat would get the win. If he stayed where he was under the safety car. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah. I know we were saying Nimble didn't want a safety car, but I think probably about now he probably would. But obviously there won't be a safety car now. With 3 laps remaining. But he could have done with one on about lap 28. But what a race. What a race. From absolute torrential rain to dry sunshine weather to finish the race like this. And we're going to finish the race around 20 to 12, so it's going to be perfect just in time. So here comes Super Skills on Umbra Ghost. We've been on board with him for quite a while. He's been trying to get that move done. Jack has had a brilliant race. Absolutely phenomenal. His strategy has been perfect to a T. So we're going to try and get tier 2 underway for sort of quarter to 12, or sort of like 5 to ready to go, you know, so that if drivers join at 12, they're still able to get into qualifying. We started at we started at 7 minutes to 10, didn't we? We've had wet weather, so a lot slower laps for the majority of the race, and we're still going to finish for 20 to 12. So yeah, we should be well in time for the race. Absolutely, Jan the man. I've met that person in real life. What an absolute legend. And obviously, because he comes from Netherlands, and Netherlands is a very flat country. I think it's the lowest country to sea level in the world. When I met him in Manchester after he'd been with Jack all week, before I dropped him off at the airport, we went up to like a really high mountain range, sat at a pub at the top of this big mountain and had a beer with him. It was just amazing. Really nice guy. Amazing person. Here comes Vincenzo on Super Skills around the outside, and Vincenzo is through. I think Super Skills is probably thinking, Vinny, go and get Umbra, slow him up for me till the end of this race because I cannot catch him. But they both have penalties, so Super Skills will get them positions anyway. So probably logical thinking is, let my teammate through, try and get in front of Umbra Ghost because we get an extra point, because I'm going to finish in front of Umbra Ghost anyway because of penalties. So, strategies coming into place for the Red Bulls. But just go on board with Jack Carter a moment in that Mercedes. Yeah, no worries, Icy. I'll let you know, man. Thank you. So, Jack Carter, he started the race on them intermediates. He got into the lead of the Grand Prix. He pitted at exactly the right time, a lap later than everybody else actually, and went on to them hard compounds. The one stopper has worked fantastically well. I must say, right, just to bear this in mind, Nimble's hard compound tyres were on 46%, where Edwards and Todd Jones were on 65%. So just bear that in mind, that potentially there is a creepy little suspicion that we could potentially get a puncher. And Vincenzo is through on Umbra Ghost. The strategy from Red Bull has worked ideally well there. So, fantastic from them too. Well worked from the team. Especially Edwards, 66% wear on them hard compounds, but we are going on to the final lap. So this is it. Jack Carter leads. Todjo in P2 and Edward in P3. Todjo chasing down Poggio in the Drivers' Championship. Both drivers from Sweden. And Umbra Ghost on the back of Vincenzo. Oh, Super Skills has made a mistake. He's 6 seconds behind Umbra Ghost. Oh, that is going to chuck away a chance at P10, which is 18 points, I think. Something like that. 10 points, I think. So, Nimblecat still 3.5 in front of Zanetti, who I think just got DRS again off that Haas car below. So, 7 seconds clear is Jack Carter. You can see the graining on them tyres for the drivers. They have been really struggling, but they have done a fantastic job. Umbra Ghost is back through on Vincenzo. They've collided. Umbra Ghost and Vincenzo. And here we go. Jack Carter from start to finish has been absolutely amazing. Jack Carter wins the Catalonia Grand Prix. Todjo takes P2. And Edward in the Alpine is going to come through to stand on the podium. Edward will come and take P3 here in Barcelona. But all eyes are on the prize. Your driver of the day, Nimblecat, in the Scuderia, is going to come through to take P4 here for the Spanish Grand Prix, round 9 at Formula 7 Racing, powered by Sim Racing Setups. Nimblecat takes P4. Ifni takes P5. Zanetti's crashed. Zanetti has crashed. Oh my goodness me, Zanetti has crashed right on the line. That has moved everybody up a position. So, Nimble Tiger, driver of the day. Zanetti has crashed. Podge will come through. Vincenzo, Super Skills will pick up another position. Every single driver will pick up another position. That is Buy Me Back that comes through. So, GG's, everybody. Well done. There you have it. Oh, he underfueled. Oh, he was saving from like 15. You're kidding. I wondered why the pace dropped off so much. You're kidding, Nimble. Fantastic drive, though, mate. Absolutely brilliant. There you have it, your race winner, Jack Carter. Buy Me Back, fastest lap, Nimblecat driver of the day, most overtakes Nimblecat. Oh my god. Brilliant stuff. So, Jack Carter takes the race victory here in Spain. Todjo takes P2. Edward, from 14th on the grid, bear in mind, Edward here, has taken a podium. We've slept a little bit on how good Edward's drive was. We've really slept. But Nimblecat, from 15th on the grid to P4 here in Spain. Ifni to P5, Vicious Vicar in P6, Podge in P7, Umbra Ghost in P8, DMB Super Skills in P9 for 19th on the grid, Vincenzo in P10. Then comes Mad Riot, Zanetti, Cinders, MSCF1 Cinders, SRL Mark, Kevin Gamer, Buy Me Back, Bulldog, Gravy Brain, and Icy. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you all so much for the support. I hope you enjoyed it. I need to set up the lobby for Tier 2, so thank you. Have a great race, have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Wednesday. I'll see you tonight for Tier 1. My bad. In fact, just before we go, because it's great when we've got a load of viewers in. Let's just quickly raid before we start tier 2. It just gets our name out of there, so when we do that. So I always like chucking, you know, doing it for other people because they used to do it for me. So raid, and we will do it for, if we've got any drivers that were racing. And yeah, I'll do this. Start raid. Thank you guys. Take care.